Hello, everyone. Welcome to Simply Delicious. This is Chris B, and I'm so elated that you have decided to join me in this video. Whew, I'm feeling pretty good. I got a great recipe for you guys tonight that I think that you're going to really like, and it's going to be a cheesy potato. Okay, we're going to do a garlic and butter cheesy potato, red skin potatoes in this episode of Simply Delicious, where we make the food simple, we make it sweet, we make it good. All right. So what I have working tonight is I have some potatoes that I've already sliced up. Here's my red skins. I'm going to put these in some water, some salted water real quick, and give them a real quick rinse and get some of that starch off of them and clean them up a bit. And then I'm going to start up my skillet with some butter and some oil. So let's get cooking here on Simply Delicious. All right. So let's turn the camera in. All right, let's get this rolling here. Can y'all see real good? Okay. So we got our nonstick pan here on the stove. I'm going to put some heat under it. And I'm going to take some fresh oil, not my chicken oil. And I'm going to put that in this skillet. All right, so let's turn that down just a little bit. About, I would say about a teaspoon or so of oil, or a tablespoon or so of oil. And I'll take a pad of butter here and put that in the skillet so we can get that working. All right. So while those two are coming together, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my red bowl here. I'm going to put my potatoes in here. Put them in there real good. We're going to give them a real quick rinse in some salt water. So while that's filling up, I'm going to put some kosher salt in there. Just a little bit. I'm going to agitate them a little bit here in the sink, just to get some of that starch off of them while that butter is getting hot. All right. All right, the butter is coming along. We're going to swirl it around in here with the oil. Y'all hear that sizzling? That's the start of something good. All right, so we're just going to branch these off a little bit. And then I'm going to take my strainer here. Let me bring you in so y'all can see what's going on. Excuse my hand. That's too far in. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna strain these potatoes. All right. Okay, put that there, like so. Okay, our butter and oil is brown. Okay, so we're gonna pan around to that. Okay, let's bring that down just a little bit. There we go. All right, so that's brown. We'll start throwing these potatoes in and get them frying here. I'm gonna turn our skillet down. It was on high because I wanted it to heat up today. And now that it's hot, now we can bring it down, control it. All right. I like to put my potatoes in a skillet in single layers. Um, and they're not perfectly cut. I cut this with a knife, by the way, y'all. And what you can do is you can use your own cutting knife, or you can use um, a mandolin if you have one, a slicer of some sort, so you can get your perfectly cut potatoes. But they're different sizes, but it's all good. So I got them in a nice big skillet here, so I can get quite a few in there, but I want those crispy. And I'm just going to put them in one layer, and I'm going to get some brownness on them. And I'm going to cook this because I know they're damp, so I'm going to cook them until it basically evaporates, okay? All right, so let's get this going. Give my hands a quick wash. Now what I'm not going to do is put salt on my potatoes because I don't want that on there right now. I will season them later. I don't want them on there right now because I don't want the potatoes to go soft. I want them to get nice and crispy, okay? So what I am going to do is add some black pepper in here. Then that way I can get that pepper seasoning through. And it's going to go light with it because you want to go light because when you cook with pepper, especially when it's sitting for a while, the peppercorn will release its oil, and you don't want it to be too peppery. Okay, so just put in a little bit. Unless, of course, that's what you like. You like your stuff peppery. Okay. I'm drinking my peach tea. And that's good, too. All right. So let's bring this up a little bit. So how y'all doing? So tell me how you doing, all right? To those of you all that are joining me in my videos, again, I want to say thank you so much. I do very much appreciate it. We're trying to get our subscription up, get more subscribers here. So please like, share, and subscribe, and share these videos if you're really enjoying them. I'm enjoying making them for you. And I'm going to word this around just a little bit. All right. But what I'm going to do is like I said, make these potatoes simply and sweet. I'm just adding some garlic and some cheese to them. And that's going to be down that. I'm a real huge garlic fan. I like chili powder. I like cumin. I haven't gotten to turmeric. I am trying more spices because I know it's all about how the food is seasoned. And so I'm getting more adventurous with my seasoning. I'm learning to discover lemon pepper. Just want to talk about that. Tell me some of the spices that you guys are using to season your food, okay? Beyond salt and pepper. I do like tarragon. I do like rosemary in certain things. Basil, it's okay, but I find basil is a little perfumey, so you have to be very careful with that when you're using it. So tell me some of the things that you guys are using to season your food so I can start incorporating it in some of the recipes that I know that I use. And of course, in this segment of my channel, which is the cooking segment called Simply Delicious, I am cooking foods that I know, and I am creating recipes, doing experiments too. So I'm looking for ideas, and if you guys have some that you would like to see me cook, why don't you share that in your comments, in the comments section, when I read through it. And if I feel like it's something I can do, I'll try it. Okay? All right. But I really do appreciate you guys, and let me know how you're trying these recipes that you see me doing in these videos and how they're turning out. So I did some chicken wings the other night, and I had a variety of sauces that I was creating. And I found out that I don't like coconut agave and yellow mustard together. That is not a good taste, not to me. Um, so that's not one that I'm going to adhere to. But some of you may have tried it and you may have liked it. So personally, I like honey mustard myself. I just didn't have any honey. I thought I had some in my cupboards, but I don't have any. So I didn't have any. So, you know, we make do. And that's one of the things that I'm doing in these videos as well, to show you how you can make do with what you have in your pantry, in your refrigerator, to show you what you can make out of things that you have about, to kind of change it up a little bit. Because if you like me, I get bored sometimes with food and the same old, so I have to change it up. And I'm sure many of you are like me. So, um, you know, that's the breaks. That's what we do. All right, so these potatoes are getting nice and crisp. Let's go looking at those a little bit. And let's zoom in on them. Okay. All right, so we got the potatoes are crisping up here. I'll turn you around here. There we go. All right, let's go in a little bit further. And what I'm about to do now is I'm about to turn these over. I just want them to get a really nice edge on them. And they're almost there. And I got these metal hands, y'all. I'm used to hot stuff because I'm cooking a lot. But for safety purposes, don't do what I do. Okay, make sure you use your utensils, because I don't want anybody to get hurt or get burned, okay? Including myself. So just be very mindful of that and do what works for you, okay? Let's see here. I need my tongs. Okay, and let's see what we got going on here. Oh yeah. So it's getting crispy on the one side. And because they were damp, it's taking a little bit longer. So what I would suggest you do with that is, if you got to rinse them off, you can do two things. You can either dry them off with a little bit of paper towel before you put them in the oil, or actually you can put them in a dry skillet without any oil and dry off the water. Okay, you always got options. Let me turn this down because ooh, it's hot. Okay, and then that way, see how nice and crisp that is? See that? That's what we're going for. I want it to be crispy like that on one side. Now, of course, all of them are not like that, but we're getting there. So like I was saying, if to make this go a little bit faster, especially with this crisping of the potatoes, you want to make sure that the potatoes are as dry as you can get them. And the way you do that is, once you rinse them to get the starch off, because you really want to do that. I don't want all that starch on my potatoes, but if you like that, that's your business. Once you rinse them in a little bit of that salt water, what you can do is, again, you can put them in a skillet that's dry and on high heat, dry the potatoes out, and then add some oil and butter to them. Or you can dry them off on a paper towel and put them in that way too. So either way it works. Just depends on what you want to do. Okay. Today I just threw them in here like so. So it's taking me a little longer to get them to crisp up, because they have to be dry in order for that to happen. If you have that water on it, it's not going to happen. They're going to take a little longer. All right. All right. Well, we getting there. Some of these potatoes I had put too many in here, and they weren't all flat. Some of them were on top of each other or double slices. So no biggie. But just try to put one thin layer in where they can all be on one side flatly inside this skillet, okay? We're not going for perfection, we're going for good, okay? Because I'm going to make it as perfect as I possibly can, which is fine with me. Because the only one that's going to get it perfect is the one upstairs. We're striving for it, okay? All right. So the potatoes are coming nice and crisp. All right, so like potato chips, similar. All right, so when you get to this point, now that I flipped them over and got that color on it and built up this flavor, this is the point where I'm going to add some salt, okay? And then I'm going to add some other seasonings. So I'm going to add some garlic in here. I'm going to turn this down. So I'm going to add my garlic powder in here. And I'm going to add my salt in here. Oh, probably need to open that up first. Oh my gosh. That's too funny. Alright, so let's go ahead and add some more salt. And potatoes, they really need salt, y'all. They really do. So don't be scared to salt them. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of onion powder. And now that these are cooking down, okay, so we're going to toss that around. I'm going to turn this heat back up a little bit. I'm going to add a tap of water. And what I mean by a tap is just a little bit to kind of make sure that these potatoes steam through. Because I want them to be soft enough and be done. I don't want them to go mushy on me, but that's just going to help them out just a little bit. Okay? And then I'm going to add some cheese to them. And at the last minute, I need a little spice with mine, so I'm going to add just a little bit of high vitamin C jalapenos. Now this is optional. You don't have to do that. I'm just going to chop up just a little bit of jalapenos to add a little burst of spice and some good vitamin C. Okay, so I'm only adding about a teaspoon of those jalapenos, and we're gonna stir this around, and then we're gonna add a little bit of mozzarella in here. We're gonna put it right in the skillet, let it cook down. A little bit of mozzarella. I'm a cheese fan too, y'all. Okay. So I'm going to add a little bit of chard in here, just a little bit. And I'm going to round it out with some Parmesan Reggiano. See, I'm going to add just a little bit of it in there, not a whole lot, because the Parmesan has cheese in it. And then we're going to hit it with a little bit of a twist. This is going to give it a steak flavor, and that is Worcestershire sauce. Okay, this is for flavoring, just a little bit. A little bit goes a long way. All right, so we're going to have these cheesy steak potatoes. As you can see right there. You know, I ain't playing no games in here. It's almost coming out like a potato pancake. Okay. I'm gonna let that come together. Get that bottom on there. All right, so as soon as that cheese melts, we're gonna be ready to go. All right. All right. So that's getting nice and crispy. So I cooked it in this non-stick pan so it could really move around. All right, so now what I'm going to do is slide all this on my plate here. Now let me turn this fire down or off. And then I'm just going to slide it onto my plate. How about that? The perfect segment for me. Ooh, yummo. All right. So you can see, here we are. Y'all saw me make this just that quick. See how quickly you can make something that's not only look visually appealing, but it's actually really good. Okay. So these are fried potatoes with a little bit of cheese, a little bit of seasoning. Really simple, really simple to make, and yet good. All right, so let's go over to the table. All right, y'all, so I'm gonna go ahead and try these potatoes, and let me show them to you again. Ooh, look at that right there. I've let it cool off just a little bit. You know, it's still nice and hot, but we gotta be able to eat them. All right, now let's see what we got here. Let me go down here a little bit so y'all can see. Okay, I'll lift it up so you can see it. Look at all that. Okay, let's pan up. Very good. Nice and potatoey. They're seasoned. Don't need any extra salt or anything. They're gooey with this cheese. And the cool thing is with these potatoes, you can have them for lunch, you know, with the steak or a nice grilled chicken. Or you can have them with bacon and eggs, or sausage for breakfast. Or you can just have them like I'm having them, by themselves. They don't need no help. They're a meal within themselves. Either way, you're doing good. A nice, quick, cheesy, red skin potato that is good flavored, excellent taste. It's crisp and soft in the center at the same time. Very good. Y'all see that? Look at that up close. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's good. You got a little bit of jalapeno in here to give it a little kick. You can add some red pepper flakes if you wanted to. It's up to you. or you can leave the spice out. It's up to you. But here's a simple option for a staple in the home, which is potatoes. Very good. I'm like that. I'm gonna add some more of this steak sauce to mine. I mean this Worcestershire sauce, because I love that flavor that the Worcestershire give it. Just give it a extra zoom. It's a good combination. That's good. So, thank you all for joining me on Simply Delicious, where the food is good, it's hot, it's quick, and it is simply delicious. Bye for now. God bless you. Heaven smile on you.